Om Shivaya Shantaya Karanatraya Hetave Nivedayami Chatmanam Gatistvam Parameshwara. O Lord, you are the embodiment of auspiciousness, you are the embodiment of peace, and you are the source for all the three existence. I shall offer myself at your holy feet, and you are the only sole refugee. Please protect me and please guide me. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today is a very auspicious day for two reasons. One is, as we all know, today is Shivaratri, a special divine night. And also, from Gregorian calendar point of view, Sri Ramakrishna descended on this earth on this day, February 18th, 1836. So this is a twice blessed day, we can say. And many people might have heard today Shivaratri is catching the attention of people across the globe, no doubt. What is Shivaratri? Shiva and Ratri. Mostly, all the festivals we celebrate during daytime, and especially with the Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, all the festivals more or less we celebrate at daytime. Or early morning we start until afternoon it goes on. But this is only one festival where we celebrate on night, divine night. It has got so many angles and so many meanings, and also it symbolizes very special values to the spiritual aspirant. Only we should be aware of it, and we should be able to understand, and we should be able to practice. In the Vedanta philosophy, or in the Sanatana Dharma, the Ratri, the night, resembles darkness. That means it also resembles ignorance. It also resembles evil. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have done a lot of mistakes, errors in our life by wrong thoughts, wrong feelings, wrong actions. That is the reason we are unable to understand who am I or who are ourselves, how much are we here. Similarly, we are not able to experience the God like science. Why? Because of wrong thinking or the impurities which exist in the mind. That resembles this Ratri or darkness or the night. Now, how to get rid of it? How to remove? When we take the shelter at the feet of the Lord, Shiva or Rama or Krishna or Allah or Jesus or Buddha or Mahavira or any god and goddesses or any incarnations or any prophet, when we take shelter at their holy feet, and when we try to put their teachings into practice, then we'll be able to get rid of this ignorance. We'll be able to get rid of this darkness. We will be able to get rid of all the sorrows and sufferings. So the Shivaratri resembles, this is the divine light. When you worship Shiva, Shiva is a symbol, we can take it as a symbol. When you worship the Shiva, even at the night, he is the destroyer of the darkness. He is the destroyer of the ignorance. He is the remover of all our sorrows and afflictions. That is what, spiritual meaning of Shivaratri. Shiva, who is Shiva? Whoever has studied Shiva Purana or whoever knows about mythology, Indian mythological stories, immediately we remember, oh, Shiva has got 3 eyes, he has got trident, and he almost is half naked, and he sits in the Himalayas, and he's wearing he's applying ash on his body, and he is in charge of, or is the god of the dissolver or the pralaya. This is what the mythological meaning we have got. Of course, it is all true. It may be all true, no doubt. But Shiva represents more than this. For an example, one of the Upanishads, which are part of the Vedas, which thousands of years before we got from the Rishis. The one particular Upanishad says, Sa Brahmaha, Sa Shivaha, Sa Arihi, Sa Indraha, Sa Aksharaha, Paramaswarat. What is the nature of the God or the Almighty? He is the Brahman, the creator of the God, the creator God. Sa Vishnu is the God of maintenance. And Sa Shiva, who is the dissolver of the universe. He is not the destroyer of the universe, he is the dissolver of the universe. Many times Pralaya means, oh God, he opens the third eye, the whole world will be destroyed. That's what we have heard probably during our childhood days. It is not so. Here Pralaya means it is dissolving, going back to the source actually. And Sa Indraha is the Lord of gods and goddesses also. Sa Aksharaha, there is no death, is immortal. And Paramaswarat is all-pervasive, is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. He is the God. So this is the idea, this is the concept of God in Sanatana Dharma, or in especially Indian philosophy, or in Vedanta philosophy. Automatically, the next question should come, if you are really seriously hearing to me and thinking that, then why there are so many gods and goddesses in India and especially Hinduism? That is why, because we have got different tendencies, though we are all primarily, we are all divine beings, or the Atman, or the self, or the Divyatma, we say, the Vedanta says. But we have got the pseudo personalities also, we have got different nature. Because of my different nature, probably I represent, I resemble, or because of my likes and dislikes, I like particular God. For example, in an electromagnetic spectrum, X-rays has got different frequency and wavelength. Gamma rays has got different frequency and wavelength. So similarly, every one of us, though we are all human beings, though we are all divine potentially, but still as an external nature, every one of us got different nature. So based on our natures, we like different gods and goddesses. Some like Ganesha, some like Shiva, some like maybe Durga, or some like Jesus, some like Buddha. And again, some like God with form, some like God without form. So in this Sanatana Dharma, in the Vedanta philosophy, in the Sanatana Dharma, they gave ample scope for everyone. That is the reason they said that whichever God you feel, whichever God you like, you can worship, never mind, either straight or crooked way. At least you should reach the God, you should reach the divine. That's why there are so many gods and goddesses. So the Hindu philosophy or the Indian philosophy is not the pantheistic religion. Many of the Western scholars, they say it is monotheistic or monism it is actually. Not even actually monism, it is monotheistic religion or monotheistic dharma. There's only one God, but we call by different names. Then how to understand this? Say for an example, when James is there. James is called as an husband with respect to his wife. James is called as a colleague with respect to his, office, in the office. And James is called as a friend with respect to his one more friend. And James is called by the name father with respect to his children. James is only one, but he is called by different names. So similarly, God is one, but we call by different names based on the quality or based on his work, based on his actions, based on our interests or whatever. So the Hindu religion is monotheistic, not pantheistic. Now, Shiva, what do you mean by Shiva? Shiva means it is auspiciousness. It is peaceful. The peace is which comes from the understanding oneself. The peace is not because the moment when I achieve something, at least for temporary, I'm peaceful. Say for an example, I wanted to build a house, or I wanted to purchase a house. When I purchase a house, for some time I am happy. For some time I am blissful. Sometime I am peaceful. Or had some problem, the problem has been taken care, the problem has been solved, at least for some time I am peaceful. So Shiva represents that peace? No. Shiva doesn't represent that peace. Shiva represents the peace which has been emerged from, which is the project of knowing oneself. Who am I? Existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. Sat, Chit, Ananda, that is our real nature. That's what Shiva represents. So by worshipping him, we will attain this. And also when we go more, who know Sanskrit grammar and who have studied the scriptures still more in deep, the Shiva, each word resembles the greatest values or the greatest truths. Like in Shiva, SH or Sh represents Mangala, that is auspiciousness, and is embodiment of bliss, is the embodiment of purity. Then E, SHIVA, SH resembles the Mangala auspiciousness. The I, E, represents Ishvara or Paramatma or the Lord. Then Va, VA represents what? Is Amrita Swarupa, is the primordial power, behind the creation. Then Va, represents that he is the omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. So when we worship such God, what happens? We will also become the embodiment of purity. We can also attain the happiness. We can also attain bliss. We can also attain the everlasting bliss. Now, again, the question may come for us, or doubt may come. Is there anyone who has worshipped the Lord Shiva and who has attained this bliss? Who has attained the peace? Who has reached the everlasting happiness? Yes, there are n number of saints. There are n number of people, devotees, who have attained either the moksha or the mukti or the liberation. Not only that, and all their desires are fulfilled with respect to Shiva. And the one great saying or the one great belief with respect to Shiva is, for example, when we pray to God many times, we feel that God is not answering our prayers. Our desires are not fulfilled, etc. So many times God examines us, whether are we really true, or we have got really true devotion, are we sincere in our spiritual pursuit. So God he examines. A goldsmith examines when we take some golden ornaments and we take and we try to sell, he examines that whether it is a pure gold or it is not. So similarly, many times God examines us, our sincerity, our pure motives, our devotion and all. So that is the reason many times the liberation and getting his grace can be delayed. But with respect to Shiva, he's so nice person, very easily he melts. For an example, every metal, when we start heating, when it gets liquefying or whatever, it has got a different capacity. Some got 100 degrees, some got 200 degrees, some got 500, some got 1000 degrees. When it goes, then only the metal gods, dissolving or whatever. So, but whereas in Shiva, other gods will take some more time, they examine more. But in Shiva, very easily he melts, very easily he answers our prayers, he fulfills our wishes. That is the greatness of Shiva. And in this Shivaratri, what we should do, what does it represent? Again, from spiritual meaning, I am speaking all these things. Shivaratri represents that eternal peace or complete peace. Though we all want peace, we are in search of peace, but many times our peace has become pieces. We keep on struggling to attain the peace, to maintain the peace. Why? Because of so many reasons, either internal or external or whatever. Thus, Shivaratri resembles or represents that eternal peace. By worshipping Shiva, one can be peaceful. How? That's the reason many people who believe in this, they get up early morning, the day they try to do some puja, worship, and they try to fast, and try to think more and more God-centered life. They try to lead on that day. As a result, they feel happy, they feel peaceful probably, they feel that we have advanced bit, at least in the spiritual life or whatever. Then what happened the next day? The Shivaratri was confined for our spiritual practices, but next day we forget Shiva and we corner the Shiva and we continue our life as it is like earlier. That's why many times we keep on oscillating between, worldly things or between dualities. So the Shivaratri can be one of the thing which can test ourselves by having a God-centered life, by having a conscious life, by having a self-centered life. Self means I'm spirit or the Atman I'm speaking, not the selfish. So when we have that type of centered life, then irrespective of the problems, irrespective of the situations we are having, one can be peaceful. That's what Shivaratri says. Why? Because the Shiva's Bhava is Shanta Bhava. You see, he's sitting in the Himalayas. When we are in 2, 3, 4 and all, we 2, 3, 4, 5 layers we all wear. And we put on heating system and all. But whereas when Shiva is sitting, there it is -20 or -30. And he's sitting in the half naked position. and with a crossed leg, and is sitting and is meditating, or is enjoying that self, or is enjoying that nirvikalpa samadhi. Why? His mind is completely settled. He is enjoying that supreme bliss. He doesn't need anything. He is not bothered about the world. He doesn't bother about anything because he's enjoying that supreme bliss, which we say in a nirvikalpa samadhi one enjoys. So that's why Shiva itself represents that supreme bliss or the eternal peace or equipoised nature. So by remembering Lord more and more, by thinking Lord more and more, by worshipping Lord more and more, what happens? Does our bank balance increase? I mean, I keep on saying this statement always. Our problems gets, materialistic problems, materialistic challenges, whether it gets reduced. Yes, of course, it happens as a byproduct. But more or less, from all these things, the spiritual evolution happens by worshipping Shiva or by worshipping Lord. Then I said, fasting we have to do. Why we have to do fasting? The Sanskrit word for fasting is upavasa. Fasting means, generally we have got the literal meaning of the upavasa is what? Fasting means what? I should not eat anything. That is what the general meaning we have heard. So food, according to the Vedanta philosophy, which Shankaracharya in Bhagavad Gita, while writing commentary, beautifully defines what is food, what is ahara. The physical food, which we eat, chocolates or the food, I mean the rice or the lentils or vegetables, fruits, it is the physical food, no doubt. We have to be careful, it has to be hygiene, it has to have a good quality, it has to be pure, no doubt. But that is not the only food. That is the one part of the food. Whatever you receive from your five senses, from Pancha Gnanendriyas, five sense organs of knowledge, everything is food. For example, my eyes are seeing something. That means what? I am receiving the food actually. My ears are hearing something. That is also called food. My nose is smelling something. That is also called food. And my tongue is tasting, of course. We have got a lot of interest in different type of taste. When we taste, that is also called food. So food means it is not that what only we consume or eat. Whatever we receive from these five sense organs of knowledge, everything is called food. Now fasting means what? So you have to be careful what you are receiving from these five sense organs of knowledge. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel. All things constitutes the food. So when they say food, fasting means you have to be discriminative while receiving all these type of foods. I mean, same in the Swami Vivekananda's language, if you want me to put simply, in one sentence I can tell, like, be good, do good, and say good. Means I have to, like, Bhadran Karane Vishrunayama Deva. Oh Lord, please make my sense organs in a fit way. Why? Let me hear all good things. Bhadran Karane Vishrunayama Deva. Bhadram Pashe Maksha Birya Jatra. Let me see always good things. Sthirairangais Tushtuvagam Sastanobi. Let my indriyas, let my sense organs, mind, let it be healthy, so that let me live the happiest life, or a blissful life, or the productive life, or the constructive life. So that is what our Vedanta is trying to tell. So when we say upavasa, it is not simply fasting. It is a one part of it, no doubt. Rather, we should get the good food. We should try to we should try to consume the pure food. Pure food in the sense like good ideas, good thoughts, good thinking, all these things. And other meaning of the upavasa is, upa is near. Vasa is staying or living. So the upavasa means it is not just fasting, it is living near. Living near whom? Living near God. I'm doing fasting, I'm feeling tired, so the whole day I'm sleeping. Then it is not, there is no use. It is better to eat something. Why they tell them, then the question may come for all of you, that then Swamiji, why did they say that you should not eat? Or you should try to reduce the food, or you should take only fruits, or as much as possible you should try to fast. Then why did they tell? Because you know, if you completely eat your stomach, what happens? Your body and mind doesn't listen to you, your senses become restless, and you will not be able to control your body, mind, senses. So the moment when you try to control about your food, automatically it is very easy to control your mind and senses. That's why they say, if possible, try to completely fast, means don't take anything, or take only water, or just fruit juice or fruits according to your capacity. So, but we reduce the upavasa only at the physical level. So it has to go to the mental, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual level. So accept the good things, see the good things, and receive the good things. And moreover, try to live near God. That's probably in India, if you see, on Shivaratri day, whole night you are supposed to be awakened. Then what they do? They will be watching movies, or they will go outside and they will be keep on roaming here and there. That is not Shivaratri. Then I say, whole day I was awake. I mean, whole night I was awake. Then morning we say, I did Shivaratri and eat, and whole day we sleep, snoring sleep, next day morning. No, that is not the Shivaratri actually. Why night I should be awake? So that I should try to think God. Now, again, the question may come. Many people, even sometimes they have asked me in India, Swamiji, one night I was awake, that disturbed me 2-3 days. Because I was never awake at night, such a thing. So it is disturbing. Then why this forefathers, why did they tell such type of things for us? Why? Because to have a control over sleep even. That's why Arjuna is called Gudakesha. I mean, there are so many names. One is that. Means one who has got a control over the sleep. Swami Adbhutananji was one of the monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Once evening, for some or other reason, that day he was tired. Evening, he was sleeping. Sri Ramakrishna, he was trying to search Adbhutananji, Latu Maharaj. Then he saw he was sleeping. But he was gentle, so he didn't disturb him. Then when he got up and he came at night, probably 8 or 9, he asked, what? The whole life is getting in vain. You have come here to realize God, and simply you are sleeping and you are wasting your life. And that day, accidentally, he slept only one day. But still, Sri Ramakrishna said, but I mean, the Latu Maharaj or Adbhutanji was such a ardent disciple, he took it literally and he took it serious and he said, today onwards, I will not sleep. See, we also will take such type of results. I mean, resolving many times, we keep taking all these things. I do this, I will not do this, blah, 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 all these things. But 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, it is more afterwards. Again, back to pavilion, we'll go back. But in Adbhutananji case, it didn't happen. He struggled, he fought with his sleep, and he had a control over his sleep. And just 2 or 3 hours he used to sleep. Whenever he wants, whenever he wishes, whenever he desires, he was able to sleep. Maybe daytime or nighttime, whenever he wants, he was able to sleep. So basically, he had a control over the sleep. But for us, what happened? We are in comfort zones. Most of us, we are in comfort zones. Nicely we take food, nicely we sleep, and etc. With a regulated life, probably. That's also required, no doubt. But because of that, we'll not be, if some problem comes with sleep, with food, or with a stay and whatever, we'll not be able to. Out of helplessness, we agree and we accept. But when all things are there, can we do it? We cannot do it. That's the reason these vratas, this type of Shivaratri, these are festivals which disturbs our comfortable life. And by doing all these things, we'll be able to have a control over our sleep. We'll be able to control over our food. We'll be able to have a control over our desires. So again, fasting, why we don't take food, or at least you don't take rice that day. You should take only fruits. Why? So that because we are eating every day so much, and we are used to it, without rice or without meat or without particular, whatever I like, without that I feel very difficult. At least in the name of God, in the name of religion, or in the name of some, because XYZ has said, or some saints have said, or scriptures have said, at least in that name, let me not take my desired food today. So this is one of the way, this was the way which was given by prophets and the saints across all religions to control their tongue, to control their desires, to control their mind. Most of the time, we were supposed to be the masters of our mind, but what we have got MasterCard, the master debit card, but we are all master of our own senses. I mean, we are slaves of our senses and slaves of our mind. So the Shivaratri resembles controlling the mind, controlling the senses, and controlling the desires. And now, one more question may come. Especially, of course, in the Western part, that doesn't happen. In India, it so happens. When the ladies, they go to kitchen, they see all these things. What should we do? Or sometimes because some old people are there or some deceased people are there, we may have to cook. What to do then? Yes, generally, the known people say, even when you see the food, we should be able to control your tongue. You should be able to control your desires. That is the reason in the olden days, they used to do fasting, but they used to do all type of work as much as possible. The day-to-day affairs they used to do. And if possible, how much ever the time they can possible, so much time they used to spend God-centered life by prayer, by meditation, by japam or whatnot. So basically, this type of festivals, one is social gathering, worship, and cooking some special things. These all things as a part, as a culture, we will do it, no doubt. But more than this, all these things, we should try to lead the God-centered life or the conscious-centered life. Most of the time, we are consciously unconscious. This is very important. Probably Thich Nhat Hanh, in The Miracle of Mindfulness, he keeps on saying this. And whoever studied the Buddha's life, Old Path, White Clouds, there also he mentions it. So all this Ramakrishna or Vivekananda or Jesus or Ramana Maharshi, all the saints, they were aware of their divinity. They were aware of their self. They were aware of that consciousness, but we are not aware. Or rather, we feel that unconsciously, we are body, we are mind, I'm so-and-so, I'm son of so-and-so, I'm wife of so-and-so, husband of so-and-so, or I am so-and-so, like that. With the external paraphernalias, we are all busy and we are forgetting about our true nature, our real nature. So these festivals, these celebrations should be the testimony for all of us, by which it should kindle more and more to remember who are we. What is God? Who am I? And what should I do? And what I should not do? All this type of discrimination should be kindled more and more. So this Shivaratri or any other celebrations. And there are, again, different stories why this Shivaratri has been observed. There are standard 3 stories, mythological stories. One is because Shiva married on this day, that's why it is a celebration. If Shiva has married, then one should fast. They should have a feast. They should not have a fast. That's why it is not accepted, well accepted. Very few people say that. The second is the Shiva Tandava, cosmic dance, whatever we say. The Shiva Tandava Nrutya, he did the first time he did on this particular day, on this Chaturdashi day. That's the reason we do Shivaratri. And that's why it is called Mahashivaratri. Why Mahashivaratri it is called? Because in every month, every 15 days, this Masa or every month we get one Masa Shivaratri. Masa is month. Every month on Shivaratri is there. Whoever worships Shiva and who has taken the Shiva's chosen deity and all, on the Chaturdashi day they do Rudra and Abhishek and etc. etc. So among the 12 Masa Shivaratri, this Shivaratri is the bigger ones. That's why it is called Mahashivaratri. That's why people, when they're not able to do every month, at least this Shivaratri they try to do all these things. And the standard story has been accepted regarding Shivaratri is when the Samudra Mantana was happening. The churning of the ocean was happening between demigods and the demons. There was a deadly poison came out. Then everyone was, they were fearful what to do. And they went and approached creator god called Brahma. So now the Hala, the deadly poison has come out. The whole world is suffering. Please help us. The creator god, the Brahma said, I cannot. You probably should go to Vishnu. Then Vishnu said, no, it is a very deadly poison. So definitely I cannot help. Better you go to Shiva. So when they approached Shiva, out of compassion for the humankind, he came. He know that it will have some problems on his life or health or whatever. But still, because to help the humankind, out of compassion, Karuna, he came and he swallowed the whole deadly poison and he swam. That's why if you see, his throat has become blue. That's why it's called Nilakanta. Now, according to Ayurveda, which is the Indian medical science, if you have got a snake bite or if you have got any consumed poison and with the medication, if it has been removed, then they say that night you should not sleep. Because in the night you may, if something happens as a side reaction or whatever, you may die. Now, Shiva had consumed the poison and Parvati went in a subtle form and she stopped going the poison inside. That's how it got stored in the throat. That's why it became blue and it is called Nilakanta. Now, Shiva had consumed the poison. So that Shiva Ganas, we say, the disciples and the devotees of Shiva, they felt that, okay, Tumbe in Kannada, they say, particular leaf has been worshipped today. Particular flowers and particular leaves has been offered to Shiva. Because all of them have got medicinal leaves, which has, by consuming one, what will happen? The poisonous effect will be reduced, or it will be taken care, or it will be eradicated. So such type of leaves and flowers are offered, especially in southern India, I have seen, to Shiva. So when that medicine has been given for Shiva, now if Shiva sleeps, what happens? He may die or he may go something. That's why the whole night, the Shiva's attendants, they were so much concerned about Shiva. They started singing the hymns on Shiva and they started playing the drums and they started worshipping him. They started doing all type of things. And so that in the whole Kailasa, the abode where Shiva lives, that whole night, the whole abode of Kailasa, the people who were there, all were awake. Because so that Shiva will not sleep that night, and next day he can sleep and they can also sleep. That is one of the mythological story we hear in Shiva Purana. Whether really Shiva had to be awake, whether Shiva had to sleep, that is really, it is immaterial. It doesn't make much difference. But the spiritual meaning we should take it is like it is spiritual awakening. The Shivaratri resembles what? Spiritual awakening. Shivaratri resembles what? Divine light, night. So that generally every night we sleep, but that night at least we shall try to remember God and God alone as much as possible, so that we shall have a spiritual awakening. We shall have the awakening of the consciousness. We shall have the awakening of the higher aptitude. We shall have the awakening of the devotion more and more, so that we shall reach the God. So that's the reason in the olden days, either in the Hinduism or Islam or Christianity or Buddhism or Jainism or in Zoroastrianism, in all these things, so many festivals were incorporated. It has got spiritual value, it has got philosophical value, and more than that, it has got a cultural and social values also. But many times we don't understand or we don't know all these values, but we confine to either few rituals or few worship or few social gathering, and we miss the main point. So that is the reason any festival or any celebrations happens, what is the root and what is the reason we celebrate, if you know, more and more, meaningfully we'll be able to celebrate all these things, and we'll be able to derive the inspiration, and we'll be able to derive the benefit more and more. So let the Shiva, who is the embodiment of supreme consciousness or supreme self or the supreme bliss, auspiciousness, let him shower his blessings on all of us, so that let us have that spiritual awakening or awakening of the consciousness. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Sarvamangala Mangalyam Hare Mangalam Shivam Narayanam Namaskritya Sarva Karmani Karayet.
Om Gananam Tva Ganapatihum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashramastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Anashunvanno Dibitsita Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Birvajinivati Dinama Vitrivato Ano Divo Brahata Parvatata Saraswati Yajata Gandu Yekyang Havan Devi Jujushano Gritati Shagmano Vachamushati Shinotu. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Sarvalokanam, Vishaje Bhavaroginam, Nidaye Sarvanityanam, Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavakai, Tejasvinavati Tamastumhavat Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyavavutota Yishave Namaha. Namaste Astudanvane Bahupya Mutate Namaha. Yata Yishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Danuhu. Shiva Sharavyaya Tavataya no Rudramritaya. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Gora Papakashini. Tayanastanu Shantamaya Girishanta Vichakashihi Yamishan Girishantahaste Vibashyastave शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि पुंसि पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वशशात्वा गिरिसाक्षावतामसि यथा न सर्वमिक्षकत यक्ष्मकं सुमना असत् अत्यवोचत दिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो भिषक् अहीहिश्च सर्वान् जम्बयन् सर्वान् च यातु धान्यः असव्यस्ताम्भो अरुणवुद बभ्रुषुमङ्गलः केशे मागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षुश्रिता सहस्रशो वैशाहुं हेरहीमहे असव्यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन् धार्यः उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्चदन्वनस्तमुभयोर्हार्द्रियोध्याम् याश्च देहस्त इषवः पराता बहवो वप अवदत्यतनुस्वकं सहस्राक्षसते शुते निशीर्य सल्याना मुखो शिवो नः सुमना भव विज्ञन्दनत्कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवाहुम् उत अनेशन्नश्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतश्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्वायुधाय नादताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव तन्वने परिते दन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अतो य इषुतिष्ठवारे अस्मन्नितेहितं शम्भवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्धकाय त्रिराग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय शताशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशाञ्च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पतीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमो सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृता औषधीनां पतये नमो नमो उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पथीनां पतये नमो नमः कृष्णवीथाय धावते सत्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निर्व्याधिन व्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमः निषङ्गिन इषुतिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते सायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचराय रण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिखाविप्यो जिघाहुं सत्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तञ्चरत्य प्रकृन्थानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिने गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो दन्वाविप्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्य प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजत्यश्च वो नमो नमः सयद्भ्यो वित्यत्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रत्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठभ्यो धावत्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्धीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाभ्यस्त्रगृंहतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कृत्सेभ्यो कृत्सपदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो महत्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो रतिभ्यो रतेभ्यश्च वो नमो रतेभ्यो रतपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो क्षत्रुभ्यो संग्रहीत्यश्च वो नमः तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो कुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो इषुकृभ्यो दन्वकृत्यश्च वो नमो मृगयुभ्यस्वनीभ्यश्च वो नमो स्वपपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः सर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च सिद्धिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युत्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च सदधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च सिबिविष्टाय च नमो मीरुष्टमाय चेशुपते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृत्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमो आशवे च जिराय च नमो शीघ्रियाय च शीप्याय च नमः पूर्ण्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च प्रगल्पाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्धिकाय च नमः सोप्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च कल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेनाय च शुरदाय च नमः शूराय च वबिन्धते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूपिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुदाय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो दृष्णवे च प्रमुषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च श्रुतिमते च नमः तीक्ष्णेशवे च युधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुगन्धने च नमो शुद्ध्याय च पत्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूत्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाध्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वश्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईत्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वाद्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शंकाय च पशुपतये च नमो उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रेवताय च दूरेवताय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तेत्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च भार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय च उतरणाय च नमः आधार्याय च लात्याय च नमः षष्ठ्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिगत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपत्याय च नमः किहुंसिलाय च शयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो घोष्याय च गृह्याय च नमः तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गौवरेष्टाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पाकुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः कक्ष्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय च लोप्याय च लप्याय च नमः पूर्व्याय च सुम्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णसत्याय च नमो पहुरमाणाय च विन्दते च नमो आक्षिदते च प्रक्षिदते च नमो वक्खिरिखेभ्यो देवानहुंकृदहेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आणीर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अंधसस्पते दरिद्रनीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणाम् येषां पशूनां मा भेर्मा रोमो येषां किंचनाममत् याते रुद्र शिवा धनु शिवा विश्वाख भेषजीम् शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृड जीवसे इमाहुं रुद्राय तवसे कबर्दिने शयद्वीराय प्रबरामहे मतिं यथा न चमसस्पते समसस्विपते चतुष्पते विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननाधुरं मृडानो रुद्रोत्तनो मयस्कृदिक्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यक्षं च मनुराय जय पिता तदस्याम तव रुद्र प्रणीतौ मानो महान्तं मुदमानो अर्भकं मानवुक्षन्तमुदमानवुक्षितं मानोवतीः पितरं मोदमातरं प्रियमानः सनुभो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषिमानो गोषुमानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान् मानो रुद्रभामितो वदेर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराक्ते गोग्न उदपूरुषग्ने शयत्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधिच देव ब्रूयत च न शर्म यक्षद् विबर्हाः स्तुहिश्रुतं कर्सदयं युवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्तुमुग्रं मृडाचरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मिन्निव पन्दुसेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्तु परिद्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरगायोः अवस्थिरामघवत्यस्तनुष्वमीत्वस्तोकाय तनयाय मृडय मीडष्टम शिवतम शिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधं निताय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं विप्रदाकहि विकिरित विलोकित नमस्ते अस्तु बहवः यास्ते सहस्त्रहुं हेतयोन्यं मन्मन्निव पन्दुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो बहवः पराचीना मुखाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो हे रुद्र अधिभूम्यां तेषां सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवेऽन्तरिक्षे पवा अधि नीलग्रीवा शितिगन्धा सर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवा शितिगन्धा दिवहुं रुद्धा उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानमधिपतयो विशिखासखबर्दिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पतां पतिरक्षय ऐलभृताय व्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति शिखावन्धो निषङ्गिनः य एतावन्दश्च भूयाहुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रविस्तिरे तेषाहुं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्याङ्गेऽन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषभस्येभ्यो दश प्राचीर् दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर् दशोतीचीर्दशोद्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयं द्विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्टिदं वोजम्भे ददामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सुय ओषतीशयो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टु हि यस्विशिशुदन्वायो विश्वस्य शयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वाहो सौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो फिर्देवमसुरं दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्ववेशजोऽयं शिवाभिमर्शनः ये ते सहस्रमयुधं भाषा मृत्यो मत्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ओम नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युन्मे बाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरिसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तगः तेनान्नेन आप्यायस्व शताशिवोम। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबे बाजेगा। ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबे बाजेगा। डिमी 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 डमरू बाजे, डिमी 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 डमरू बाजे, दुलेछे कपालो माल। ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबो बाजेगा। ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबो बाजेगा। घरे जे गंगा जाता माঝে, उगरे अनाले त्रिशूल राज। घरे जे गंगा जाता माঝে, उगरे अनाले त्रिशूल राज। घात 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 मौली बंद, घात 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 मौली बंद, जल शशांक ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबो बाजेगा। ताथैया नाचे भोला, बम बाबो बाजेगा। डिमी 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 डमरू बाजे, डिमी 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 डमरू बाजे, दुलेछे कपालो माल। ताथैया नाचे भोला, ताथैया नाचे भोला, ताथैया नाचे भोला। Now if you see the fourth song, Damadu Hara Kare, Baje Baje. डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे, डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे। त्रिशूल धरंग भाषम भूषण, त्रिशूल धरंग भाषम भूषण। ज्ञानमाना गले विराजे, डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे, डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे। पंचवादन बिना प्रधान शिवा, पंचवादन बिना प्रधान शिव। वृषभ वाहन भूतनाथ, लुंड मुंड गाने विराजित। लुंड मुंड गाने विराजित, आदर दिगंबर रे। डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे त्रिशूलधर अंग भस्म भूषण त्रिशूलधर अंग भस्म भूषण ज्ञानमाला गले विराजे डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे डमरू हर करे बाजे बाजे. Now Sanghamitra will sing some Ram Bhajan.
Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramahyo Daitate Namaha. Ya Daishu Shivasamati Gandhare. Shivataya Yataya Mudramraya. Yate Rudra Shivatamura Gura Pavakashini. Sayanastana Vasi Panayali Samnavika Tasri. Yamishan Gishtam Tahate Vivastastane. Shivamkir Satam Kurmari.
Pranam, Shubha Shivaratri. So we all know Sri Ram. Oh, it's a last one. Oh, it's a fast track or it's a forward. So I will do one Ram Bhajan. We all know that Sri Ramchandra's Ishta Devta was Mahadev. So I will do one Ram Bhajan. So if you have the other printout where there are 5 songs, so it is the bhajan number 5. If you can join, it's okay. If you can't, but you can just remember the प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम राम राम. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम 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 श्री राम 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 श्री राम राम राम. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम. पाप कटे दुख मिटे जब लेत राम नाम. भव समुद्र सुखद नाव भव समुद्र सुखद नाव एक राम नाम. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम नाम राम श्री राम 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 श्री राम राम राम. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो परम शांति सुख निधान नित्य राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। परम शांति सुख निधान नित्य राम नाम। निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। परम गोप्य परम इष्ट मंत्र राम नाम। परम गोप्य परम इष्ट नित्य राम नाम। संत हृदय सदा बसत, संत हृदय सदा बसत एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम महादेव सतत जपत दिव्य राम नाम। काशी भरत मुक्त करत कहत राम नाम। महादेव सतत जपत दिव्य राम नाम। काशी भरत मुक्त करत कहत राम नाम। माता पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम। माता पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम। भक्त जनन सदा जीवन, भक्त जनन जीवन धन एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम। We will do a small kirtan on Mahadev, Om Namah Shivaya. So if you have this single page, it has it, and if you don't have, I have also shared the soft copy in EVS group. Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Rameshwara Shiv Rameshwara, 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 Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya. Gangadhara Shiv Gangadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Gangadhara Shiv Gangadhara Shiv Gangadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Gangadhara Shiv Gangadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Jatadhara Shiv Jatadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Jatadhara Shiv Jatadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Jatadhara Shiv Jatadhara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Someshwara Shiv Someshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Someshwara Shiv Someshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Someshwara Shiv Someshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Vishveshwara Shiv Vishveshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Vishveshwara Shiv Vishveshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Vishveshwara Shiv Vishveshwara, Hare Hare Bole, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले। कोटेश्वरा शिव कोटेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वरा शिव कोटेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वरा शिव कोटेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। कालेश्वराय महाकालेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कालेश्वरा शिव कालेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। जटाधरा शिव जटाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। विश्वेश्वरा शिव विश्वेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वरा शिव कोटेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कालेश्वरा महाकालेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। लाउडर। नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। रामेश्वरा शिव रामेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरे हरे बोले नमः शिवाय। गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। लाउडर प्लीज। गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। जटाधरा शिव जटाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। विश्वेश्वराय शिव विश्वेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वराय शिव कोटेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कालेश्वराय महाकालेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। गंगाधरा शिव गंगाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। जटाधरा शिव जटाधरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। विश्वेश्वरा शिव विश्वेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वरा शिव कोटेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। कालेश्वरा शिव कालेश्वरा, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय, हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। हर हर महादेव।
ओम तत्सदे नमः। नमस्ते भगवते विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय ब्रह्मणाय विराट्काय स्वाचिहाय सालाजिरुद्राय नीलकंठाय जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ओम
शीशा
मेरा कुछ करना
We'll be doing the Shivnam Sankirtan now. Yeah. Only the one which is crossed. The one which is crossed we'll not do, and all the others we'll do till the ones that is Suradala Nayaka Jaya Sukhakaraka. Okay. Yeah. So please join it. Yeah. Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Hara. Sada Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Hara. Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Hara. Hara Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Sada Shiva, Samb Shiva. Hara Purna Paratara Parama Kriparanam Aganita Guna Gana Mudita Shiva. Hara Adbhuta Maulika Chandra Kaladhar Amaradhishvara Girisha Shiva. Hara Purusha Paratana Brahma Sanatan Swanandamrita Mata Shiva. Hara Neelakanta Shiva Sankata Mochak Nikhiladishvara Sakala Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Amita Gunanav Chandreshwara Shiva, Chala Nivasa Suresha Shiva. Hara Sura Nara Sevita Sri Hari Pujita Indra Bhatita Janaka Shiva. Hara Trishula Dharana Bhujada Vibhushan Anda Paripurshitanta Shiva. Hara Tribhuvana Palaka Tribhuvana Nashaka Ripugana Sudata Sukhada Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Kesha Natesha Kriparnava Keshava Sevita Purna Shiva. Hara Mayadhishvara Natana Manohar Akhila Janashraya Shrestha Shiva. Hara Prabhu Karmoli Vibhushana Danuja Vilasana Bhayada Shiva. Hara Kalimala Nashana Shiva Panchanana Ravana Sevita Varada Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Manmata Shasan Dhyana Hutashan Yati Jana Toshan Ruchira Shiva. Hara Bhuvana Maheshwara Chinmaya Deepak Aishwaryanrita Moda Shiva. Hara Nashana Panigana Bhushana Madhura Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Trayambaka Bhargava Pujita Shankara Moha Vinasha Moda Shiva. Hara Janma Jara Marana Vinashana Tosha Vivardhana Shimada Shiva. Hara Sura Bhalanayaka Jaya Sukhaparak Dosha Nivaraka Dhavala Shiva. Hara Tapatraya Hara Vadana Manohara Nandishwara Shiva Charama Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Shiva. Hara Samba Sada Shiva, Samba Sada Shiva, साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब शिव हर साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब शिव हर साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब शिव हर साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव शिव हर साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब शिव हर साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब सदा शिव साम्ब शिव This is the first song, Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara. Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Adinath Shri Kedareshwara Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Adinath Shri Kedareshwara Bilvadala Priya Chandra Kaladhara Bilvadala Priya Chandra Kaladhara Dimi Dimi Damaru Ninad Hara 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 Om Namah Shivaya 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 Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Adinath Shri Kedareshwara Adinath Shri Kedareshwara Bilvadala Priya Chandra Kaladhara Bilvadala Priya Chandra Kaladhara Dimi Dimi Damaru Ninad Hara 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 Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Brahma Paratpara Purna Maheshwara Adinath Shri Kedareshwara Brahma Murari Surachita Lingam Nirmala Bhasita Shobhita Lingam Janma Jadukha Vinashata Lingam Tatpranamami Sada Shiva Lingam Vimamuni Avaratita Lingam Samadhana Karuna Karalingam Ravana Dalpa Vinashana Lingam Sadharamami Sada Shiva Lingam सर्वसुगन्धसुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं मणिपरिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसूयाव्यविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कुङ्कुमचन्दनलेपितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहार सुशोभितलिङ्गं सञ्चितपापविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवगणाश्रितसेवितलिङ्गं भावैर्भक्तिभिरेवस्तलिङ्गं दिनकरकोटिप्रभाकरलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् अष्टदलोपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गं सर्वसमुद्भवतारणलिङ्गं अष्टदरिद्रविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं सुरगुरुसुरवरपूजितलिङ्गं लिङ्गं परमपदं परमात्मकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारिसुराचितलिङ्गं निर्मलभासि शोभितलिङ्गं जन्मदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
Dear devotees, after taking the Arati, so just a big arrangement. Everyone after they will come. First, someone will give a sprinkle the water on your hands, wipe the hands or clean the hands, and afterwards there will be a Ganges water and flower. Just offer, and we'll be chanting the mantra all together. Usually you can offer the water and offer a flower, and afterwards you can go. And there is a salutation so that others behind they can have a meeting each other, calling each other. So don't do that. You go back and afterwards you can do after that, someone will give you the kirtan also, whatever the Shaitan has been done, you can take it.
Mokshiyamamrita Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva bandhanat Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva bandhanat Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva bandhanat Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Urvarukmiva bandhanat Mrityurmokshiyamamritat ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् 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 बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्
उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं
यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात्